Hey guys, this is John.
And Austin.
This is another episode of the Meatgistics podcast brought to you by Waltons. Check out our sweet shirts.
Some swag for you.
So, Allie just had these made. These are I don't know what you would call it, a photo shoot shirt? No? It's got a term.
Does it?
Glamour shot. Glamour shot shirt of Austin and I.
Sure.
We've got, look at me so I can not look down on. We've got on the back row, we have me holding a pike, kissing my dog Brutus. Then in the center row, we have Austin holding sourdough pancakes, being very surprised and then very scared / confused. I'm worried.
Yeah. Something has me upset or worried.
He's very worried. And then the bottom is the picture of me with my giant muskie, which has some extra photoshopping for appropriate
Looks like
reasons.
a best of Uncle Fester.
And then some lightning bolts and Meatgistics at the top. So Allie got these made for us. They're really cool. We're going to do some stuff with them. So keep an eye out for that. All right. A couple other things going on. We hit 50,000 on YouTube. So Patrick got one of his goals. So yes. Well done. We've also got what I think are some awesome wild cards today. We got 3 of them. I've been on a big crocodile kick recently.
Oh, no.
Can't help it. Okay. Oh, no, it got me.
You just like submerged things that could kill you that you can't see immediately. That's your
horrifying.
So a fear of the unknown. You're just...
Yeah, that's exactly what, like if you look up fear of sharks, it's always fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
Is what like you're actually afraid of.
Do you walk down your hallways with like the lights all the way off?
Yeah, I don't care about that.
But what if someone's hidden in your house? You want that to happen. Bring it on.
Yay! Yeah, because I'm going to defend myself against that. I'm not going to defend myself against a shark.
Sure.
Yeah.
Probably, at least.
You would still try. You'd still try.
Would you,
Depending on the shark.
Yeah.
Depending on if it's a great white, I quite literally am just going to, I'll see it come and go and try and kill myself before it gets to me. Like 100% that's what's happening.
Drown.
If it was like a bull shark or a tiger shark or something, I'd see if I could, because you can flip those sharks upside down. They go to in a catatonic state.
Oh, really?
Or you can even redirect them. Like I've seen people with bull or tiger sharks specifically, like they'll be coming for them and they grab them by the nose and just push them.
Why aren't isn't there something you can wear where it sends out like an electro signal and it deters them from any kind of...
So sharks have this thing called an ampullae of Lorenzini on their snouts. It's like they're huge pores.
Someone fact check that pronunciation.
They're huge pores that are filled with this like jelly, and it's amazing at picking up electrical signals. So I always think like that shark deterrent electrical pulse thing. Like I think it's just as likely to make them go.
I like that.
Let's go see what that is.
Well, it's just the way that they used to talk about it, at least like 10 years ago, is just like, oh, why doesn't every surfer or surfboard, like, why don't you just build this into the like swimsuits and stuff like that? Like,
yeah, it was probably the company that made those that paid for all those articles, I would imagine. I would imagine. So, but yeah, so we've got some awesome wild cards, but we actually have a main thing we're going to talk about today, and that is our top 5 meat hacks for making deer venison snack sticks. I went through a great amount of trouble to put this all together, and we're eventually probably going to turn it into a blog post. That wasn't the plan here, but it got so detailed that I was like, okay, I've got everything I need here for a pretty detailed blog post.
Nice, a blog, very 2007 of you.
Yes. So we're going to get into them, and I think what we'll do is we'll just go through all 5, and then we'll come back and go through in much greater detail. And I want your input if there's anything you think is I'm missing or anything that you think is a better meat hack, open to the discussion. All right, so number 1, I've got use Sure-Gel versus any other binder.
So is this like the most important or the
These
least
are my
important?
top 5, what I would say.
But what order are they in right now?
They're not in an order. That's a good question. Use the one-shot grinder because of how quickly we can get it broken down into 1/8 inch grind. Add straight pork fat versus adding a pork butt. Proper handling of the deer carcass before we get to processing, and humidity in your smoker.
You just ruined this whole bit, by the way.
How did I do that?
Because now people don't. There's no reason for them to watch any further. It's just boom.
No, but I've got great details on everything.
Yeah, there's a lot more that goes into it.
Oh, good Lord, yeah. I've got tons of detail.
I got all the topics. Who needs details?
Yeah, but you don't know it. That doesn't mean anything.
Why would you go 1? Here's the reason why for a few, and then 2. Here's the reason why.
We should have done like a 5-to-1 reveal. Like,
have you ever written an essay in your life?
It's been a long time.
You just crammed everything into first paragraph.
It's been a long time.
Come on, baby, you're better than that.
well, isn't that when you like write a paper, you're supposed to have your beginning intro, and that's what we did.
Yes,
we introed it, and now we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes.
Both of you apparently have written essays more recently than I have.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm an essay king, dude.
Well, that's why we don't do these live, Patrick. You are the producer. You're PP.
I'm gonna
if you want to start it over, we can go back to the beginning of that.
No, we're not starting it over. We're just gonna rearrange some stuff.
Okay. All right. So on the first one, Sure-Gel versus any other meat binder, I specifically want to call out the terrible idea of using the soy protein blend when trying to make deer snack sticks.
Well, yeah. I mean, but you almost could change this and just and say using a binder and step it one further and going using Sure-Gel. Because even soy protein blend's better than not using anything. I disagree.
I think you're better off using nothing than the soy protein blend. Because you can get the proper amount of protein extraction to get that bind together, which is what soy protein is going to do. Is it's going to get everything bound together. It's not going to give some of the other advantages that Sure-Gel gives. But when you try and stuff a small diameter thing with soy protein blend, it is so hard that I feel like it damages your stuffer. Like it's been probably 6 years since I've tried that. But it is unbelievable how hard it is to stuff a soy protein blend mixed thing into a small casing.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how small. Are we trying to stuff into 16 millimeter or are we going to like a 20, 21, 22?
Yeah.
Because,
even in a 19, it's like, I think it's too hard. I don't think it should be done. Okay. So, all right. So it's better for that. So it gives an improved protein extraction and bind. Now, it's a little bit weird to say it's an improved protein extraction, but it actually does. It doesn't do it by like solubilizing the proteins or anything like that. But by adding some dairy protein, we're actually adding more protein to the meat mix. So it does become easier to get protein extraction. Now, deer is obviously incredibly lean, right? Most of it's less than 5% fat. So we need as much help as we can get there. And it's going to give you a nice firm bite with that. You're also going to get better moisture retention. We all know lean meat, and especially seems like venison dries out really quickly in the smoker. It's just going to cook that water right around 130. It's just going to go, here's all my water. And the meat is just going to push it all out. So by giving us some extra binder in there, that helps keep some of it in. Super bind is another thing that can do that really, really well. Super bind is a mix of potato starch and carrot fiber. And that potato starch actually forms a gelatin right around the same temperature that meat starts expelling its water. So that's a really good advantage to that. Personally, I don't like if you have a void in there, like if you don't stuff it perfectly and you get a little air pocket, that potato starch will get into that that void and just form like a gelatin. I don't love that. So I don't use potato starch as much. But also, Sure-Gel does do a decent job of holding on to water as well. It's going to give you a more uniform texture without any type of binder. You're definitely going to have some texture deficiencies. And this is going to help make it a nice, smoother, even texture throughout. Big one is it helps reduce shrinkage. So if you're somebody who wants wrinkly snack sticks, I don't see this as much as I used to. It seems like 3 or 4 years ago, people were like, I want the wrinkly look. I want wrinkled snack stick. And if you use Sure-Gel, you're not going to get that, or you're going to struggle to get that. So if you do want that wrinkled appearance, Sure-Gel is probably not the best thing for you. And then it does also have a enhanced flavor carry. It's not direct, right? It's not like the Sure-Gel is what's doing that. But by holding more fat in there, more moisture in there, we are going to be able to experience those flavors longer, more intense, because as we're chewing into a snack stick, that fat, especially if it's pork fat, is melting and coating our mouths. That fat is going to have the flavor of that snack stick in it, so you're going to experience it longer, which a lot of people confuse length of time you taste something with intensity. Like they are two very different things, but people tend to mix those up. And then obviously easier processing. I remember a story that Kurt Carter told me about Jerry Hall when Sure-Gel first came out, he was like thrilled because it was specifically designed to be a binder that will make stuffing small or diameter snack sticks easier. Now, I've done some batches recently without any type of binder and using Sure-Gel, and I don't know that it's any easier to stuff with Sure-Gel, but I do know out of all the binders I've used, Sure-Gel is definitely the one that makes it, or that doesn't add any difficulty to stuffing. So it definitely carried out. If that's main goal, or if its main goal really was, hey, we need something for small diameter snack sticks, Sure-Gel got an A+ on that. All right, the one-shot grinder. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because we've brought it up a ton of times, but heat is the enemy here, right? And the one-shot gives us the ability to do all of our grinding in a single pass. We've done time tests before, and if I'm doing a 25-pound batch, I can get it done in like 6 minutes from start to finish, and that's through a 1/8 plate. If I'm doing it with a traditional grinding system, which means everything has to go through a 3/8 plate, and then everything has to go through a 1/8 plate, including time of putting it back in the freezer in between grinds if we need to do that, we're looking at an hour. I mean, easily looking at an hour. If we don't put it back in the freezer, we're still looking at probably somewhere in the 40 minutes range. And that is just a long time to keep your meat out of that freezer. And honestly, you would rather spend that time doing something else. So the fact that it does both in a really good or a really quick time helps you out. It also has really nice particle definition. Because we're only passing it through once, we're not going to have really any fat smear. Our protein, lean parts, and our fat are going to be really nice and separated. So we're going to see dark red, especially if we're doing deer, dark red, and then nice bright white parts of the pork fat we added. So it has a much better appeal from a visual standpoint to it. Smeared fat causes all sorts of problems. There's also improved protein bind because we're not over handling the product early on. When we go to actually mix it, it's going to be in the right state to start releasing those, solubilizing those proteins and allowing them to bind together. So what does that do? That gives us way less of a chance of a crumbly snack stick. Temperature control, we've talked about it a bunch, but heat is the enemy during this entire process. Is that rain?
We've never had it rain in here during the podcast before.
I'm sitting here going like, is that?
I thought it was the
AC. Yeah.
Do you think they'll pick that up?
I mean, we're talking about, hey,
yeah,
it's the elements.
That
right?
is
It says it's going to rain for the next 60 minutes. So
dude,
if it picks it up, it picks it up.
Man, I left my dog outside because I was like, oh, what a beautiful morning. She's going to love this. Now she's just like feels neglected on the porch.
She feels like you hate her.
There's a nice porch cover for her, but at the same time, I'm just like...
Maiden or the other one?
Maiden. Yeah, the other one's is such a prima donna.
It doesn't say outside.
My bigger dog hates it outside. You
She's
can hear
an inside dog?
You can hear his paws just clap at the glass. Like
let me in, let me
up.
in.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my God.
Okay, but obviously a one pass minimizes the time we have to keep it out of the cooler. And right, anytime we're grinding anything, that plate and that knife rubbing up against each other, no matter how well we oiled them before, that's friction. It's going to cause some heat buildup. So we are heating those proteins as we go through it, unfortunately. It's one of the reasons why with traditional methods, we always say put your whole grinder head into the freezer. Get that super cold before you get going. But doing it all in one pass absolutely makes that.
Yeah, I think the one shot is kind of similar to using like a grinder or a stuffer, or just using a grinder, because like when people just when they use a grinder and that's it, you have to pass once to grind, a second grind, and then a third to stuff out of, and the amount of time that you spend in that auger head, it damages the meat.
Yep.
And so the less time it can spend in there, the better. So the one shot's great because you cut that from if somebody started with just a grinder, you had 3 passes, now you're down to 1.
Right.
And that is a dramatic change on your final product, assuming you're still using the stuffer at the end, which if you're using a one shot, I hope you have a stuffer.
I hope you have a stuffer. Now, I have absolutely agree with you in that there's more damage to the meat from a fat smearing aspect when stuffing off a grinder than anything else you can do. I mean, even grinding meat that's too warm, I don't feel like smears your fat as badly as trying to stuff off that grinder.
Yeah, when it's in the grinder head, it's sitting there just working against itself over and over, and it almost immediately just blends all your protein and fat together. Your particle definition is nothing. It just looks like it now looks pink instead of having red and white. And
your first foot of sausage is usually good, but then right after that, we just go pink. So yeah, that's a problem. All right. So talking about adding straight pork fat versus adding pork butts. Number one thing that we usually see people do is when they say, hey, I made deer snack sticks or deer sausage. It didn't come out as good as I wanted. Here's my process. What did I do wrong? First thing I go to is, what did you use for a fat source? Because some people will go, well, nothing. Well, okay, that's absolutely not a good idea because we're down below 5%. The other thing people say is like, oh, I added some pork butt. Okay, how much pork butt? I don't know. I just added some. Well, that doesn't work either. And then I added 50% pork butt. Okay, so what's a pork butt's fat content? I'm going to be generous right now and call it 30%. It's very generous.
Used to be that way. Now everything is trimmed up so much that you're lucky to be at 20%.
Oh, maybe that's true.
Yeah,
I'd still say you're at 20%.
The last few pork butts I've got, I don't know. I didn't analyze it, but I would be shocked if it was over 20. Why are they cutting off the fat cap like that? I don't know. I think because they think it's a consumer perception that people don't want the fat, or you're not going to. People, I see so many videos where people get a piece of meat and they go cut off all the fat anyways. Yep. So it's what people have perceived in their minds that they should do, and it's just, in my opinion, it's wrong.
Even if you don't want the fat, like if you're cooking a steak and you don't want that fat, cut it off after.
Yeah, cook it with it on there and then cut it off.
And then cut it off.
Yeah.
Okay, but 50-50 mix of deer and pork butt. If we're saying it's 30%, we're being generous there. Your finished fat content is going to be 12 and something, like 15% at the absolute highest. And that's really just not high enough. So by adding straight pork fat instead of just the pork butt, we're really doing a few things. One, we're letting the deer taste come through more, because pork fat has very little, very mild fat taste. Beef fat has way more of a taste than pork fat. Plus, beef fat tends to be more waxy, especially at room temperatures. Like, the nice thing about pork fat is it will start to break down at room temperature. That's why when you take a bite out of something and it's got beef fat in it, even if it was cold, you're going to get that fat to melt in your mouth, which is going to way improve the temperature, the experience. So it's got a better texture, and I hate the term, but mouthfeel or palate appeal, as we talk about. So it's got a better texture when you bite into it. It's better juiciness and binding. Venison's so lean without added fat, they are going to come out somewhat crumbly at least. You can get all those proteins to bind together, but when you cook them without any fat to melt and help keep those proteins moist during the cooking process, they are going to get crumbly. Pork fat provides lubrication during stuffing. Now, that really only kind of works if it's cold while you're stuffing. If you get pork fat warm and then try to stuff it, actually makes it significantly harder. And then it mixes well with any solubilized meat proteins. So the finished snack stick's going to hold together better.
Through the first three, like the biggest thing comes to mind is that all of these eventually impact your final product and can make it crumbly.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many times when you have a crumbly sausage, you did something wrong or something you could have changed. So if you have problems in your final sausage, like crumbly, in my opinion, is like the worst, because then it's unappetizing to me. So try to do the small things along the way. And if you can't perfectly do it, just get as good as you can in there, because you want to keep from having that crumbly sausage that just unappetizing.
Yeah, unappetizing, almost inedible. I mean, to a certain degree, depending on how crumbly your product is, it can make it or at least absolutely not fun to eat.
There's been many times I've taken batches of stuff that's ended up poorly and it just turns into dog treats.
Yep.
So it's still edible to an extent.
Sure.
I use it for something, but
also pork fat's not expensive. I mean, it used to be a lot cheaper. I think I used to get it from for like $1.09 at a local butcher shop, and it's just under $2 now. But it's not expensive.
Yeah.
It's way cheaper to add pork fat than go out and buy pork butts. Like a lot cheaper.
Have you guys ever had New Way?
Yeah.
Yep.
Love New Way, cafe,
Yep.
New Way. You know what their catchphrase is?
Crumbly
Is better.
Yeah. Well, I also
obviously
don't like
they're talking
New Way.
about burgers.
Yeah.
But, dude, when I was
it's
a
sloppy
kid,
Joe though, right?
you got
basically.
with no salt. You got to first of all, their regular stuff that they have on it.
Yeah.
Is the stuff I take off: mustard and pickles,
Yeah.
and maybe just raw onion. And I'm like,
Okay.
what do you guys do?
Why are you doing raw onion? Right.
Yeah. And then you got to get a giant one to make it last more than 4 bites. Because it's crumbly burger, cheese, and then it all falls down. You got to have like a basket of fries or something underneath. And it's one of those places where the onion rings are way better than the fries. Now, it's a lot cheaper than I remember. You know, we went to it recently, but at the same time.
You went to New Way recently?
Yeah, about a month. Maybe it was during last baseball season.
All
so
three of
over
you?
the spring. Yeah.
What did it cost to feed you guys?
20 something instead of like 30. Actually, he brought a friend too, so it was actually
4 of you for 20 something.
Yeah, and that's like
that's good.
Like if
nowadays.
you get a burger by itself, like it's like it was almost like if you order a la carte, everything's like $4. Like you get a burger, hot dog, burger, fry. You know, share maybe about. Oh, you want onion rings? Okay, 20 something out the door.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good.
It's not bad,
to be honest.
Yeah, and now I just get the best family meal though. Now that we're on this topic. Is Panda Express. $35, so it's $37 out the door.
Okay.
You get 3 entrees, as long as they're not the premium ones. There's only a couple that are premium.
What counts as a premium one?
Oh, something with steak is premium, and then the honey walnut shrimp is premium.
But orange chicken wouldn't be.
Orange chicken's regular.
Okay.
And they brought the spicy one back.
Okay.
And it's actually pretty hot. But he gets the regular. She switches it up, and then I got like Beijing beef this last time. Fantastic, and then you get to pick 2 large sides.
And it's $37 for 3 of you.
Yeah, considering
sad,
nowadays,
like
I know, it's a nightmare.
I don't eat out a whhole lot, and so I'm gonna jump on this complaint train for a minute. We went to. After church on Sunday, we needed to get food. We were going somewhere, and so we went to Small Sliders. And
terrible place.
The food was good. I liked the food, but it was $14 for a combo meal.
Yeah,
$14.
One person. Yeah.
What do you get for that?
Not enough.
What is Small Sliders?
That's what you get. I mean, yes, you get 4 burgers, but they're sliders.
Yeah,
I mean that is one burger.
Right. Yeah. And that's $14.
$14.
And there's nothing on it, right? It's just cheese and then some burger sauce.
Yeah, there was a special sauce on it, but I told my wife I didn't have it before. I was like, this is just a slightly upgraded McDonald's cheeseburger. Like it's not anything crazy, but it tastes a little bit different. But it's McDonald's cheesburger flavor. Yeah.
McDonald's cheeseburgers are pretty delicious, if you ask me.
But $14?
No, single patty
good
ones.
Lord, no.
Yeah, no, it was. That was one of the places I went to. And I was like, did we just spend $50 for something that I ate in 2.5 seconds and then I'm still hungry. Like I was like, this sucks.
I had 2 things happen to me recently that ruined fast food meals or food meals that I really wanted. I got your sister actually did one. I got a double quarter pounder on our way back from whatever, and what's the term? McDonald's has this thing like you can make that something. Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
What do they add to it?
Basically, they add mayo and some other nonsense to it. Yeah, terrible.
You can make
absolutely ruined my burger. I was like cool about it, but I was mad. And then I ordered the sub for our photo shoot with the pepperiyaju from Firehouse. Firehouse subs.
Pretty good,
right? So I had to build that my own.
Yeah,
because they don't have that one.
Really?
Got it, brought it here, was perfect, right?
Yeah, it was really good.
A couple days later, I'm like, I really like that. I want the same thing. I ordered it again, exact same way. They ruined it so badly.
No, what did they do?
That I ended up calling. Like, I'm not gonna, I go, guys, I don't know what you did to this, and like it, but my order was for a roast beef sub, and it looks like you guys tried to make a Philly cheesesteak or something. And she's like, okay, I'm sorry about. She went and like reviewed the order and talked to the owner, who apparently is the one making subs that day. Yeah. She's like, yeah, there's nothing we can do. He says it was made correctly. I was like,
oh, really?
Okay. Like, never ordering from you guys again.
Oh, no.
And I was mad enough where I actually left a Yelp review, which I've never done before.
They made the list. So what
was wrong? And my Yelp
with...
review was exactly, I was a picture of that, and I said, how do you mess up a roast beef sub this bad? But the girl I talked to was very nice.
So,
because she was.
What was exactly wrong with it, if you were to break it down?
They put some, even though I know I said no mayonnaise, just I wanted oils on it.
Yeah.
They put some form of mayonnaise on it, but it wasn't like regular mayonnaise.
And the beef was different because the
beef was 100% different.
Yeah.
It was like beautiful and nice and like pink on this one. It was all gray on that one. Yeah. The lettuce was like wilted.
Oh, lettuce.
Anyways, I'm never ordering from them again.
Did you do like caramelized onion or anything?
I did add caramelized onion.
Was that at least pass?
Couldn't really taste it.
Man,
I was watching this guy on YouTube yesterday, Not Another Cooking Show. Really, really good. Like, does in-depth recipes and does like a really good job at them. He was saying you could caramelize these onions for 1 hour, and then I was expecting, because he was going to say something next, and I thought he was going to say 10 minutes, or he goes 4 hours. So I was like, 4 hours. Like, I think I like food. This guy is like next level if he's spending 4 hours caramelizing onions.
I cooked and caramelized some onions on Monday, and I cooked them for about 5 minutes.
You absolutely can do that.
I mean, you order food at a place and they go, yeah, that'll be about like 5-10 minutes.
Right.
Goes,
yeah.
You want
we'll get those caramelized onions?
Yeah, just about 4.5 hours. Is that good for you?
Yeah, it's
no,
insane.
what?
But he also did some sort of Japanese burger, and they were like this thick, like very, very thick. And he got the internal temperature to like 130 degrees and then pulled it. Just like, I get it. I know. Like, but I'm so conscious of food.
That's like the one
nowadays.
thing we're like, guys, come on.
Please just, but I get it. Like, I understand people like undercooked burgers.
The taste is fine. It's just
the taste is
it's
great.
not worth
It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
It's not that much better of a taste where it's like
No.
a steak, 100% way better if you pull it at 115 degrees and let it cook up off the grill up to 120 degrees. Like, that is way better than going to 145 or whatever.
Yeah.
But the difference between a 140 degree burger and a 160 degree burger is like 2%, maybe.
Now, I know you probably just answered this, but if you're at a sit-down restaurant, are you sending something back? Are you ever a send back kind of person? If it's a burger,
I think I've done it
a burger,
once, and it was for my ex-wife because we said no mushrooms and it had mushrooms in it.
So that's the one
like,
thing.
Hey guys,
she won't have, but my wife is a maniac. She won't send anything back because she thinks someone's gonna mess with her food. And I was like,
she's probably right.
I go, but there's jail time now for that. Like, you can't just mess with someone's food anymore.
It depends on also how you handle it at the table. Like, if
I
you're
agree
a
1,000%.
jerk about it, you have a way. But if you have a legitimate complaint, like, hey, I cut into this chicken. I'm sorry, guys. It's like still a little pink inside.
Yeah, they want to take care of that. Yeah,
right.
I like it.
But if you throw a fit.
I was at Applebee's one time.
Weren't we doing top 5 D-Racks?
We were.
And I get, it's a little better now. And then I ordered onion rings, and which is an upcharge, right?
Right.
I swear, I'm not over exaggerating.
Okay.
On next to my entree now was 4 onion rings. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm like, this got to be some kind of, I got like a full, I go, this isn't an add-on. I go, this replaced the fries. It's just you can see so much white on the plate. There's only just 4. The manager comes over. She goes, I heard there was a misunderstanding. I go, I mean, what are we talking about here? I go, look, you order onion rings, I at least want like 8 to 12. Like, what are you talking? Like, they should pile on top of one another, not lay down flat like they're in a donut
Stop
box.
me at the size of the onion ring. What?
Now. 4, yeah.
Oh my God! So they were tiny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They weren't like the stringy, big, like dog and shake ones. These were like very
okay.
It wasn't like the massive, huge.
These were like these were Burger King. Like, you go to Burger King and you get like over 10 onion rings in a thing. And I'm at an Applebee's and I spent an extra $2.99
to
for
get
onion
those
rings.
right.
And And then so she brought out 4 more, and I go, now like
Thanks
now
now
I'm the bad guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks for the bare minimum.
Now I'm like, okay. Thanks. Yeah. They're comping stuff left and right. Meanwhile, they're just bringing out an extra 4. I go, you're almost there. You're halfway. You're halfway there. Yeah.
One more time.
But yeah,
man.
Please continue with the chlorophyll.
Back to great reference. All right. Proper handling of deer carcass before we even get to processing. This is a huge one, and I feel like where a lot of problems with deer products start. Number one, we want to field dress that right away. Sometimes there's not really a ton you can do about it. I get that. But a lot of that is actually poor planning, right? Like, unfortunately, a lot of that's poor planning. I know sometimes it's just super hot out, but you can have some coolers in your car with some ice bags if it's 85 degrees out. You can field dress it right there. You can get an ice bag inside that if you have a long trip home. Like, there are things you can do. The problem is if you don't field dress it right away, those organs retain so much heat. Like, one of the main reasons we're field dressing it is obviously for weight, because it's easier to deal with. But we're also taking some of the stuff that we're not going to eat that retains heat to start the cooling process quicker. I think I read something that it's like 15% difference in 20 minutes between body temperature if you do or if you don't field dress it right there. So I just don't understand like the non-field dressing and stuff. And if you want those organs for the offal or whatever, I don't think it's a done thing anymore. I think specifically because of CWD and some other deer diseases. Like, you're supposed to leave those where you killed it, right? Like, you're not supposed to transport them home. First deer I ever killed, I'm like, should I take those and go throw them out somewhere? And it was Adam. He's like, no. He's like, no, you leave those here in case there is like a disease. It stays in this area. You don't then take it to wherever you're from. But yeah. And then I lost it. What was I saying? Take the organs out?
You're field dressing a deer.
Okay, yes. Other one is use some sort of deer and wild game rinse. So it's an easy way to stop any microbial or mold growth. So you just spray it on the entry and exit wound. Hopefully you have an exit wound and didn't chase the deer that long. But it's going to retard any growth of mold or bacteria. And anything we can do to cut down on the amount of bacteria that we're going into the processing with is just way better. It's a much, much bigger help.
What kind of fabric for the dress are we doing on the deer?
I like a silk.
Okay, yeah.
It feels nice between my hands.
That seems a little after dinnerish, but okay, that's fine.
And then obviously hanging. Now, hanging's a big thing because it makes all the meat more tender, yes. But I'm a little bit different than everybody else because I have access to all of this, right? So I tend to want to make more sausage, snack sticks, and jerky than I think a lot of people do. Like, a lot of people like their football roast. They like a few of the other roasts. They want to cook that, or they just want to grind it and have some loose deer meat. I want to make Philly brats with it. I want to make Willie's snack stick, taco deer sticks. So the only thing I keep are the back strips and the tenderloins. Literally everything else either gets ground or made into jerky. So for me, hanging's not as big a deal.
So you said it makes it more tender when you hang it?
Yeah.
Wow. So what's the
it's
science?
The same thing with
what's
hanging
the science behind that? Is it just
you have
less
enzymes
stress on the?
Nope. Enzymes in the meat just continue to break down. It's the exact same thing with like aging beef. It's the same.
I thought it was
exact
just
process.
for easeability of what they're actually carving up the carcass. So you're just interesting. That's cool.
Yeah.
So it just depends on where and how you're hanging, because that's the biggest thing I see from people still is if they took care of it in the field and they get it home, but they hang it in their garage and it's beginning of the season and it's still 65 degrees outside.
That's not great.
It's like, guys, we can't. I know we want to hang it, but we can't do that. We're doing something to help maybe over here, and then we're hurting ourselves over here. And it's the first priority is getting it cooled down and keeping it below 40 degrees.
Yeah, I know somebody whose biggest concern with hanging, no matter what time of year it is that he gets it. high enough where coyotes can't get to it, jumping underneath. Like, oh my God, no. I'm like, remind me not to eat anything you make. So, yeah. So depending on what you're doing with the meat, tenderizing can make an absolutely huge change, or not much of a change at all. But processing it correctly in the field absolutely makes an enormous difference.
Yeah.
And then the last one is humidity in your smoker. This is something that we kind of have gotten a little bit away from talking about, mostly because it's not something that I struggle with anymore. But when we started all these Meatgistics videos, I was using the PK100, and all I was doing was putting a water pan in the bottom of that. And even with the largest water pan that I could fit in there, we ran some tests with some Magtech stuff, which is like some data logging software that can measure through probes, obviously, measure the humidity inside your smoker. Actually, I created that, what is it called? Psychrometer for that. Yeah.
Probably.
I used to be smarter than I am now. Like that took some doing. I don't know if I could figure that out now. Anyways, and with just adding the large water pan, I think we increased it by like 10%, which is
maybe
almost nothing. So then we started trying a bunch of different ways that we could increase the temperature out there, and we eventually settled on the humidity towel as the most effective way. First, we were telling everyone just to use automotive sponges, and that absolutely did increase it. I think we got that up to like 30% increased humidity. But then our smoker soaker humidity towel, put it in the water pan, drape it over the sides, and that material acts like a wick. So it pulls water up out of the center and coats the whole towel. And then the heat can just evaporate all that water right up off it. And we got it up to, I think, 50-something% increase in relative humidity, which was huge. Absolutely huge. So what does that do, right? If we're cooking something in dry heat, we're going to run into a process, no matter what, if you're making snack sticks, summer sausage, or whole muscle stuff, you're going to run into something called the stall, right? And the stall is just the same thing as what happens when you're sweating and it's super, no. I was about to explain that terribly. The stall is when moisture coming off the product matches, or in some certain situations, even exceeds the thermal processing energy from your smoker, oven, or whatever, right? And it's the same thing that happens when we sweat. We get wet on the outside so that it will evaporate off and cool us down. Same thing's happening with your meat. When it's super humid out, it feels so much hotter because your skin can't cool itself down by evaporating your sweat off of it. So by making it a super humid environment in there during specific stages, we're making it harder for that product to get into the stall, so we're going to get through quicker. It's also going to give us a way less dry outside to the product. I've cooked a couple of sausage in my day where the outside is unfortunately tough. It definitely has happened. Not as much anymore, but yeah, you bite into it like, oh, why does that taste like, or feel like rubber on the outside? That's not good. So higher humidity will obviously help that. And then also just general speed of cook. We are getting poured on right now.
Good example there. Like, I was too lazy to start up the grill this week, and so I was cooking sausages at home just on my stovetop.
Yeah.
And I put some water in the pan and the pan lid on because I was like, I want to cook this fast. You get humidity in there and you trap it, and it just makes it go through. And then like halfway through, I'm like, okay, we're done. Take that out, pour the water out, and then I'm trying to crisp it and cook it at a higher heat so I still get my hard, because you want a little bit of case hardening when you do a sausage like that. But trying to have the best of both worlds, but you get humidity in there and it cooks so much faster.
It's ridiculous. And then the last one is obviously smoke adherence. Smoke adheres better to a slightly damp outside than it is going to a completely dry outside of your casing. If you're cooking in 0 degree humidity, if you're in Arizona, you're going to have a hard time getting your snack stick, summer sausage, whatever, to have any smoke adhere to it. All right. So those are our top 5 deer hacks or meat hacks for processing deer or venison snack sticks. Never know which one to say anymore. Allie's gotten into my head with it. I'm just like, deer, venison? Should I say venison? Should I say deer? I know. It's hard.
I would say I lately see more deer.
So the best explanation I heard of is venison is almost like a technical term for it at this point. Because in my mind, for whatever reason, nobody ever told me this, and I have no reason to have thought this, but in my mind, it was like venison is the whole thing. Like, so even like a whole cut. Deer is when I've broken it down and eating it, or when it's a live animal. I don't know why.
And just running through my head, like 20 years ago, I don't remember ever seeing like deer or venison snack sticks just at your general store. You'd have to you couldn't find you don't find this. Now you can find your more exotic meats, your wild animals that are pen raised, and now they can sell them retail.
Yeah.
So you can find bison or buffalo, you can find deer or venison, you can find a bunch of different things. And I want to say that I more often than not see it labeled as deer anymore, but could just be.
No, it's definitely venison.
You think?
I think like it's venison more than deer. Like on a snack stick, I feel like I see venison / elk on things all the time. I don't ever see deer anymore.
I'm gonna pay attention next time I go through like a grocery store.
Yeah,
see what I can find.
All right, moving on. We've got a couple. It's funny that you brought up bison or buffalo. So I've always wondered that. I'm like, why are they sometimes called bison, sometimes called buffalo? Technically, what's in America is like has to be called an American buffalo or a bison, because a buffalo is technically from Africa or Asia. And those are the water buffaloes. Okay. So we've got a couple of just quick wild cards. This one, I believe we actually talked about a long time ago, but it's so freaky that we're going to watch it again. So these people are in some sort of tour boat in India. And you can kind of see it here. See something along the bank there, but watch the size of what comes off the bank here.
Oh, my.
Look at the size of that thing.
And the boat is just continuing to go. I would not.
Why would you not turn around?
That thing could climb a 10-foot wall because it's 20 foot long.
It really does look 20 feet long. Now, I think there's 2 crocodiles here and only one of them comes in, but it doesn't matter because that's still its tail. And oh my God,
it's
such scary
It's out there
animals.
legitly swimming and its tail is still dragging in.
Yeah, it's fully moving. Oh my God. They're such creepy animals. And now here is a Cape buffalo chasing, and I want to hear the audio with this because hold on.
I see some wild ones on buffalo.
Yeah, no, they are absolutely scary. All right, here we go. Now listen to the lady's voice. Look at the horns on that thing. And it goes, you know what? I've had enough of this. You shouldn't be this close to me.
Yeah.
Scared me to death.
Scared me sitting here.
I mean, the speed with which that thing just is like, because halfway out in the water, it's like, am I scaring you? Am I just chasing? Nope, I want you. And it just goes.
Those things move fast in the water.
And then the last one's also kind of tied into the last one. And this probably isn't funny, but I couldn't help it. I don't know if this guy makes it or not, but it just clocks him. It absolutely clobbered him after it.
He shot the thing too.
Oh yeah, they don't care. They don't care. They kill more hunters after they've been shot than any other animal other than leopards. Leopards are like the one, like the real danger in leopard hunting is after you shoot it, because they bed down and they wait. Like whatever comes after me now that I'm injured is dead. Like they're gonna sell their lives dearly. All right, but that is it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the 5 meat hacks for deer snack stick venison processing, however we want to say that. Next week, we're going to have Kurt Ratzliff on. He's got some awesome stories. He's been up to some cool stuff. And then the week after that, we're going to have another guest on. We're not 100% sure who it's going to be yet. So it'll be a while until you see both Austin and I. make sure you're checking us out on Monday. Live streams are at 6 p.m. This past week, there was 2 football games on. So if that happens again, if there's another 2 NFL Monday night games, I think we might just skip that one. It was pretty clear that most people were just watching football. I think it was like me, Tex, ND Mike, a few other people who come around, but like all the normal names were not there. I'm like, yeah, everybody's watching football.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll see you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for checking out the Meatgistics podcast. To shop everything but the meat, head on over to waltons.com. To get your meat processing questions answered by experts and enthusiasts alike, head on over to our online community at meatgistics.com. Waltons, everything but the meat.